Welcome back to AI Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are having an AI review Inside Out 2 four times and to see what it thinks. Inside Out 2 is currently slated to come out June 14th, 2024. I love the first and am certainly looking forward to this one, but let's see what the AI thinks.
Stepping into the world of Inside Out 2 felt like coming home to a familiar, warm hug, filled with the vibrant colors and deep emotional resonance that made the original so unforgettable. From the moment the opening credits rolled, I was swept away by the promise of another heartfelt journey through the complex landscape of human emotions. And let me tell you, this sequel not only meets the high expectations set by its predecessor but, in many ways, surpasses them, weaving a tale that's as insightful as it is enchanting. The genius of Inside Out 2 lies in its brilliant storytelling, which dives deeper into the emotional whirlwind of growing up. The narrative is a masterclass in creativity, expanding on the inner workings of the mind with new emotions and settings that are both imaginative and utterly relatable. The writers have done an exceptional job of exploring themes of change, resilience, and the power of empathy, crafting a story that speaks to both the young and the young at heart. Every dialogue sparkles with wit and wisdom, making it impossible not to laugh and learn in equal measure. The voice acting in this film is nothing short of spectacular. The cast brings to life each emotion with such vibrancy and nuance that you can't help but feel every high and low right along with them. Joy's boundless energy, sadness's newfound confidence, and the introduction of new emotions add layers of complexity to the narrative, making the characters' journeys all the more compelling. The chemistry between the characters, both within the mind and in the real world, adds a rich layer of depth to the film, highlighting the importance of understanding and balance in our emotional lives. Pacing is yet another area where Inside Out 2 excels. The film moves seamlessly from one emotional beat to the next, perfectly balancing moments of high-octane adventure with quiet, introspective scenes that allow the audience to reflect and connect deeply with the characters' experiences. This impeccable flow ensures that the film's more profound messages about growth and self-discovery are delivered with impact, leaving a lasting impression on viewers of all ages. And then there's the cinematography, an absolute feast for the eyes. The visual representation of the mind is even more stunning this time around, with each emotion's domain vividly brought to life through dazzling animation and a kaleidoscope of colors that are a testament to the film's artistic vision. The attention to detail in the depiction of the mind's landscapes is breathtaking, providing a visual metaphor for the film's exploration of the complexities of the human psyche. In conclusion, Inside Out 2 is a triumphant return to the emotional odyssey that Pixar so brilliantly began with the first film. It's a rare sequel that manages to capture the magic of its predecessor while charting new territory in the exploration of what it means to feel and grow. The film is a testament to the power of animation to convey deep truths about the human experience, wrapped in a package that's as entertaining as it is enlightening. For its beautiful storytelling, exceptional character development, and visual splendor, I joyfully give Inside Out 2 a resounding 4 stars. It's a cinematic experience that resonates deeply, reminding us all of the beauty in our emotions and the strength they bring to our lives.
Returning to the emotional world Pixar first brought to life in Inside Out, my expectations for Inside Out 2 were mixed with a sense of cautious optimism. The original film set a high bar for animated storytelling, skillfully navigating the complex landscape of human emotions with both humor and depth. With Inside Out 2, the promise of exploring new emotional territories and developmental stages was intriguing, yet the challenge of surpassing or even matching its predecessor's impact loomed large. In terms of writing, Inside Out 2 takes ambitious strides to delve into the intricacies of adolescence, introducing new emotions that reflect the tumultuous journey of growing up. While these efforts are commendable, the narrative occasionally stumbles, struggling to balance the introduction of new concepts with the cohesion and focus that made the original so compelling. At times, the plot feels overstretched, attempting to cover too much ground without giving each new emotion the depth and development they deserve. The result is a narrative that, while still engaging, sometimes misses the mark in capturing the nuanced portrayal of emotional evolution. The voice acting in Inside Out 2 remains a strong point, with the cast delivering performances that bring a genuine sense of personality and complexity to their characters. However, the addition of new emotions, though providing interesting dynamics, occasionally leads to cluttered scenes where not every voice gets the chance to resonate fully. This dilution of focus can detract from the emotional clarity that was so striking in the first film. Pacing is another area where the sequel struggles. While Inside Out masterfully navigated its storyline with a clear direction and emotional arc, Inside Out 2 sometimes feels as though it's meandering, searching for its core message among the multiple subplots and new characters. These pacing issues can leave audiences feeling momentarily disengaged, waiting for the film to find its footing and return to the compelling narrative drive that defines Pixar's best work. Visually, Inside Out 2 is as stunning as its predecessor, with the animation team once again bringing the inner workings of the mind to life in vibrant, imaginative detail. The design of new emotional landscapes is breathtaking, offering a feast for the eyes that underscores the film's creative strengths. Yet, even here, there's a sense that the visual splendor is sometimes employed to mask moments where the storyline itself lacks depth. While the cinematography is undoubtedly impressive, it's not always enough to elevate the narrative to the heights it aims to reach. In wrapping up, Inside Out 2 is a film that, despite its flaws, remains a worthwhile journey into the emotional development of its characters. It bravely tackles the complexities of adolescence, offering moments of genuine insight and creativity. However, the film's ambitious scope sometimes undermines its effectiveness, resulting in a sequel that, while enjoyable, falls short of the original's groundbreaking exploration of emotion. As such, I find myself awarding Inside Out 2 a 3/4 stars, not for a lack of ambition or skill, but for the moments of disconnect in its narrative execution and pacing. Nonetheless, it's a film that will undoubtedly resonate with many, prompting both young and old to reflect on the emotional landscapes of their own lives.
Approaching Inside Out 2, my skepticism was at the forefront, given the monumental task it faced in following up on the original's groundbreaking exploration of emotions. The first film set a high bar, not just in the realm of animation, but in storytelling's ability to dissect the complex tapestry of human feelings. The ambition of Inside Out 2 to delve into the emotional upheaval of adolescence is commendable, yet, in striving to expand its emotional universe, the film encounters significant narrative hurdles. The sequel's narrative attempts to introduce new emotions and the challenges of growing up, a direction that, while promising on paper, often results in a narrative that feels overcrowded and unfocused. This expansion dilutes the poignant simplicity that was the strength of the original, leaving key themes feeling either rushed or superficially treated. The essence of the film's message, meant to navigate the intricate shifts of adolescence, sometimes gets lost amidst the attempt to juggle multiple new characters and emotional landscapes. Despite these narrative challenges, the voice acting shines as a beacon of authenticity and depth. The performances are delivered with a commitment that breathes life into the film's emotional spectrum. However, even these strong performances struggle against the screenplay's limitations, with the addition of new characters muddying the emotional clarity that defined the original's success. This overcrowding not only detracts from the central narrative but also diminishes the impact of each character's emotional journey. Pacing emerges as a significant issue, contrasting sharply with the original film's masterful blend of emotional depth and narrative momentum. Inside Out 2 often feels like it's grappling to maintain a coherent narrative thread, with its ambitious inclusion of new emotional dynamics leading to a fragmented storyline. Important emotional developments are hurried or obscured, undermining the film's ability to engage the viewer fully in its exploration of adolescence. On a brighter note, the visual artistry of Inside Out 2 is undeniably impressive. The animation is a vivid testament to the creative vision behind the film, with each frame bursting with color and imagination. These visual elements beautifully encapsulate the chaos and beauty of the emotional landscape being navigated. Yet, even this visual splendor occasionally feels like a crutch, attempting to mask the areas where narrative depth and coherence falter. In wrapping up, Inside Out 2 stands as a film that, despite its visual and performative merits, struggles to fulfill the ambitious narrative it sets for itself. It's a journey back into a world ripe with potential for profound emotional exploration, yet it stumbles in delivering a story that resonates with the original's insightful, cohesive look at the human psyche. The film's reliance on aesthetic appeal and a crowded roster of new emotions cannot fully compensate for the lack of a solid narrative foundation. Thus, I find myself awarding Inside Out 2 a 2/4 stars, a rating that reflects both the missed opportunities and the moments of brilliance that characterize the sequel.
Well, folks, Inside Out 2 hit the screens, and I strapped in, ready to see if Pixar could somehow pull off a miracle by outdoing their original masterpiece. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Not even close. In fact, what they managed to produce was a convoluted mess that felt more like a desperate cash grab than a worthy sequel. Let's dissect this disaster, shall we? First off, the story. It's as if the writers decided that complexity equals quality, throwing in a mishmash of new emotions and scenarios that do little more than muddle the narrative. The original Inside Out was praised for its nuanced and insightful exploration of emotions, but Inside Out 2? It's like watching a toddler play with a Rubik's Cube, frustrating and ultimately pointless. The film tries to tackle the complexities of adolescence but ends up skimming the surface, offering up half-baked ideas that feel more like afterthoughts. The voice acting, arguably the only aspect where the film could have redeemed itself, is wasted on a script that's about as engaging as a dentist's waiting room magazine. Sure, the cast does what they can with what they're given, but no amount of talent can save this sinking ship. The new characters, meant to enrich the emotional palette, instead come off as unnecessary additions, crowding the narrative without contributing anything of real value. And don't get me started on the pacing. If the first film was a masterful symphony of storytelling, Inside Out 2 is the equivalent of a broken accordion, awkward, annoying, and impossible to follow. The film drags its feet, stumbling through its convoluted plot with all the grace of a three-legged race. It's a slog, folks, a real test of patience, and not in a way that pays off. The visuals, while admittedly impressive, are nothing more than a smokescreen, a dazzling distraction from the utter lack of substance beneath. Sure, the animation team did their job, creating a world that's as colorful and visually appealing as you'd expect from Pixar. But when the story is this lacking, no amount of visual splendor can save it. It's like putting lipstick on a pig, pretty, but pointless. In wrapping up, Inside Out 2 is a colossal disappointment, a sequel that not only fails to live up to its predecessor but also fails on its own merits. It's a clear example of why some stories just don't need a sequel. The film is a hodgepodge of missed opportunities and half-realized ideas, leaving viewers with a sense of what could have been rather than what is. For attempting to coast on the coattails of its far superior predecessor without delivering any of the emotional depth or narrative coherence, I'm giving Inside Out 2 a scathing 1/4 stars. In a word, it's a flop, a forgettable footnote in what should have been a standalone cinematic triumph.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe. I always try to have 2 videos out per week. Next week, I will have a real review out for Kung Fu Panda 4. I am currently working my way through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so that will be coming in the future as well. Until next time.